most soulful and scholarly books from the world's spiritual tradition. So for people who are Buddhists, it looks like a Buddhist store. For people who are Western esotericists, they see the Renaissance philosophy and the magic and the tarot and the astrology. For people just trying to make their lives better, they see the books on healthy living and healing and energy work. There are people who come here for Reiki books. So we've got this section on Gurdjieff. We have 6, 7, 8 shelves of material on Jung. And we have books on yoga, we have books on Hinduism. So it's very much like that fabled elephant, where what you see is what you're looking for.
I do believe in reincarnation, so I don't think my soul will die when I go. I think it goes somewhere else and it will be picked up, because I'm going to have unfinished business. I mean, here I am still working on certain things, and if I don't work on it now, then I'm going to have to trip on it next life, and I don't want it. That's a very big motivating force for me, because I have to work on it now, otherwise in my next life it'll probably be worse. It's lovely, but it's so incredibly graceful and calm. This was a Kuan Yin, and this was a present from my friend Judy. She sent it to me. I saw it in a store, and she went back and she bought it. It was a total surprise. Isn't she beautiful? And of course I like it because she's a woman. They're roses, and this is a geranium. I try to put fresh ones in, but I must admit, it gets beyond me. But I just think she's so beautiful.
My particular deck is called the Merlin's deck, and the reason I like it is I love the artwork on the major arcana. It's got a feminine feel to me, which I like. Different tarot decks have different feels to them. The idea is that the major arcana of the tarot represent the spirit's journey on 3 different levels. Now, normally it's taken to be mental, emotional, spiritual. And the person doing the journey is the fool. Another way to look at it is in terms of Jungian archetypes. It's these are is one of the standard sets of Jungian archetypes, which in slightly different guises would be recognized in any culture in the world. For example, the magician is the same as the shaman in any primitive culture. It's set up in a specific pattern to be able to work through different kinds of problems that want both mental and emotional problems, and even physical problems that one has, and to be able to do that in a non-sectarian yet spiritual manner.
For a sacred object or an amulet or something like that, you simply concentrate on it for a few minutes every day, and you think about good things, and it's like you're coating it with goodness. This is a crystal that my astrologer got for me, and he got it in India. I do carry around what is called a medicine bag. Now this is a Native American idea, and you take along certain items, and I can show these to you. Now, Here are some crystals. All right, here's some coins. Now the 3 Chinese coins with a red thread, that's a feng shui Chinese way of attracting good fortune and financial prosperity. That's a feng shui device. A good luck amulet, I guess. I don't know, perhaps it's a bit superstitious, but a piece of silver, an ounce of silver. I carry that, and then the front is a scene from Iwo Jima, of the soldiers putting up the flag. And the back is a verse from the Bible, and this is a piece of pyrite. Now these stones have various properties that are delineated in a book called Love is in the Earth. Okay, here's a piece of amber, and this also has an ankh. Perhaps you're familiar with the Egyptian single ankh, and I kind of combine them together. So this is one of my Christmas presents from Janet. So now I have a place to keep my stones, crystals. Jasper, said to be very protective stone. If you're in a dangerous occupation, I consider riding a bike somewhat dangerous. You have to use a certain amount of common sense too. Have a great day.
The biggest reason why people get involved with Gurdjieff is that it's really a teaching of our time. It's a method, it's a system of our time. There's very little concern with heaven and hell. There's great concern with actualizing the potentialities that one has here and now to make this particular dimension of living experience full, rich, wonderful. Physically, materially, mentally, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, if there is any such stuff, but the here and now, to be centered in this dimension of what life offers us. That's the big thing with Gurdjieff. To be conscious, to be able to define a task, a project, to see it through. That kind of consciousness, that kind of awareness. The Gurdjieff system really is a discipline that happens in the ordinary flow of life. Work in life. I'm Richard Liebow. I facilitate a Gurdjieff Uspensky study group in a coffee house in San Francisco on Monday nights at 8 o'clock.
When I first became interested in the group, I was being a couch potato one afternoon, thumbing through the channels, and I caught his public access cable program. And the first thing that caught me was his intensity. And I thought, who is this nut? I find it to be amusing, but he has this habit of charging the camera. And I was absolutely fascinated. So I sat there and I watched it for a few minutes, and he was actually beginning to make a little bit of sense. And I heard him doing our outline points, as we often do in every class. And I thought, oh, well, this is a spiritual place that they're interested in. And the thing that caught my attention was it wasn't all sweetness and light. There was some discipline to it.
The kind of discipline one needs to transcend the madness of ordinary living. One needs discipline. And one needs the kind of discipline that one can only find in a structured environment, like a school.
It's a nice energy. It's a really, I'd say, calming energy and focused energy. And I guess that's why I know I have to go.
I go there, I feel like I have this week new tool to do things and new ideas, sometimes new opportunities of higher understanding comes my way, and if I'm awake for that moment, I grab it and it becomes my property.
Almost 10 years ago, I was nursing my youngest daughter at that time, kind of channel surfing, and I saw this show and I had read the book, In Search of the Miraculous. The nature of the ideas is they have a dimension that you enter into, and it's like reading about any kind of religious or philosophical or metaphysical system. You can understand it on an intellectual level, but if it's really going to be meaningful to you, you have to begin to somehow integrate it into your life. And so working with Richard and his group was Richard and his group, I would say, was a way to begin to bring these ideas into my life on a more practical level.
My theory is that we're all looking for something as we go through life. And you probably heard the expression, when the pupil is ready, the teacher will appear. And this is kind of how I view my relationship with the Gurdjieff-Ouspensky study group.
I start out with the Old Testament because I was born into a Jewish family, and I have a great concern about my Jewish heritage and why I didn't make the kind of connections with it that I've made with some other traditions. Why, having been born into that great tradition, do I need Hinduism? Why do I need Gurdjieff? I start out with the prophet Isaiah. And when they shall say unto you, seek ye unto familiar spirits and wizards that peep and mutter, and all manner of creeping things, should not an intelligent and insightful, sincere seeker of truth simply pause? That's not Isaiah. That's Gurdjieff. That's the essence of the Gurdjieff method. Break that chain of mechanicality. Put up a finger, put a hand and say, hold it. You'll notice it affects your breathing. It may even cause a tingle. We're not going to get it all. Frankie, don't worry about it. We're getting enough. It's all in any one of these phrases. Hold it. Simply pause to turn that focus of attention from out there in here, to turn the focus of attention inside, to picture an image of an impartial observer, listener, experiencer, witness within oneself. We have reactionary thoughts. We have reactionary feelings. We have reactionary actions. We are billiard balls sitting on the pool table waiting to get knocked to the left or knocked to the right or pushed into the side pocket.
It's started out, I needed more expertise in computers, so I got the learning annex, pulled it out, looking through computers, and all of a sudden there's this, stop smoking, quit smoking forever, Richard Liebow. And he implants through hypnosis just certain ideas. And it worked for me the first time. It's just you hear things that are, I think, very much the Gurdjieffian ideas in this program.
If I'm going to take away your cigarettes, I have to give you something to reach for instead. And I intend to give you several things to reach for instead. But the most important thing that I'm going to give you as something to reach for instead will be a self-hypnosis exercise so that you can do for yourselves what you've hired me to do for you. So I normally will then place a piece of lemon candy, a lemon drop like we use in our Monday night meetings, and I'm just going to stare at this piece of candy and I'm going to analyze it and come up with some of its more conspicuous properties like size, shape, color, the fact that it's wrapped in cellophane. Then once I have a pretty good fix on that piece of candy, I say, now I'm going to let my eyelids close down, and here between my ears on this monitor in my brain, I'm going to see if I can't find among all those images that are floating around and popping around and jumping around in my brain that are appearing on that monitor in my brain between my ears, I'm going to see if I can't just find a picture of that piece of lemon candy. I got it.
You know the power of his voice, Frankie?
Mm-hmm.
His, was it Anselpalmian flowing echoes, how he can get that
Right.
It really affects your nerves and muscles, doesn't it?
Right.
When you hear him do it?
Yeah.
Here's where the hypnosis comes in. The hypnosis, the self-hypnosis. I pretend. Pretend is a big word in hypnotic work. It's a big word in creative work. The capacity to abstract, to pretend, to consider possibilities, to sort through options. This is your secret.
Okay.
It's a deal that you're making with the wisdom of your own heart and with, well, those wonderful mechanisms way down deep inside that really control your habits and your behavior. You may notice that there are physiological effects, biological, physiological effects. Your breathing becomes a little deeper. You may notice a little warmth in your belly, a little tingle in your fingertips, causing the breathing to become a little deeper, a little more even. That warmth in the belly is acquiring a warm kind of pinkish glow. Colors are very hypnotic.
What he does, he gives you a vehicle to get to that level to think about what you need to do to solve your own problems.
The Gurdjieff work, yeah. It's more about that daily grind and struggle to become mindful, and, to discipline yourself, to learn restraint, and to confront your ego and to struggle with it in hopes of someday transcending it, and to glimpsing maybe some of the dimensions that are there beyond your personality and your the cultural overlay that we've all identify with, that we call ourselves and our egos and stuff, but to begin to hint that there's something deeper there, to begin to have a relationship with that over a long period of time, and have it authentically impact your life.
What a man or a woman cannot put into an enneagram, he or she does not understand. What does it say?
clearly defined personal aims and purposes.
How does it taste?
Pretty good, yeah. Sounds like it.
You can have it. If this is you, this is your life. David, this is your life. And here you need to place something that will give your life more richness and more meaning. I am suggesting to you, with all the charisma that I can manifest, I suggest that you put in this moon that goes around the earth of your life. Clearly define personal aims and purposes. Say, I'm going to Paris. Why am I going? I am going there to participate in and suck out as much richness as possible of a Gurdjieff intensive. Ooh, everything energy starts coming in. All kinds of places. People, the trees, the streets, the buildings, the cafe. You're creating your own universe. Changes your life.
He's changed my life in very real ways. I mean, there are certain things that I do on a daily basis, such as keep a journal, make a list of activities that I try to organize myself around and work towards that have come about as a result of my association with him. Somebody who I have come to respect more and more and have great human affection for as well.
I like Richard. He's a real man. He's a real man. I like the way he is humble. I like the way that he spread his knowledge to each person in the group according to what that person needs.
What happens now? You are your own guru. You do this internal stuff, and you still need guidance from either from books or belong to a group. But you're master of yourself. You are to master yourself.
I want you to focus on now.